Everyone, how are we all doing? So, this is our very first Monday Momentum mini workshop. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes just to enable people to hop on, give me a wave. Hello, been creating, afternoon, hello. Keep thinking it's morning. It's definitely not. Oh, look at you guys coming thick and fast on Instagram. Hello. If you're watching this on the replay, you can 100% go in the email that we would have just sent you if you are on our email list, and if you're not, you need to get your butt over there. And also, hi Sky, hello, hi Scrunchies, hello. Yes, so if you want to watch the live version of this and you're watching the replay, it is every single Monday at 1 p.m. GMT time. We've moved it from Friday to Monday. So I just need to make sure that everything is okay before I get into it. This is going to take between 20 to 30 minutes of your time. So no worries if you are short on time. Amelia Rowell, hi. Hello, Boutique Prince. Hello, Crafted by Steph. Hello, True Light Co. Alice Fox Artist. Boutique Prince says, hi Steph, where's your coffee? I only have water. I did not have time to grab coffee. I was running a little bit late. We've been changing over some of our branding, logos, and all that good stuff. And you guys know what I'm like. I have to be doing something right up until the very last minute. So yeah, I just didn't really get onto it. So today, we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. Now, let me know how many of you suffer from imposter syndrome, because I know that for a fact it's a real problem, okay? Now, this can show up in a variety of different ways. Give me a comment and let me know what kind of ways it shows up for you. Just while I very, very quickly hop on and make sure that everything's working, because sometimes I miss comments. Yes, so I've missed comments. Let me just hop on to this just for a hot minute. Tamsin says, hi Steph, you brightened up Monday for me. Oh, thank you very much, Tamsin. Yeah, no, it's very gloomy here. It's full on raining for the first time in about a week. LLEDR says, hi Steph, hello. I'd love to know what your name is, because I don't know if I'm saying that wrong or right, or Been creating says 100%. Yes, imposter syndrome is real, it's real. The Peachy Bee says, doubting myself and wanting to give up. Yes, it's a huge deal. It really, really is. So 4 ways of overcoming imposter syndrome. So what I really love for you guys to let me know is, have you managed to beat imposter syndrome before? And let me know if you've managed to kind of snap yourself out of that funk, or what you've basically kind of done to enable you to overcome feeling like an imposter. And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's basically, in essence, where you feel like you're not good enough, you feel stupid, you feel like, especially for creatives like us, you feel like, what you make isn't gonna sell, you feel like you can't charge XYZ. And to be honest, guys, imposter syndrome is the main reason why so many of you are undercharging, 100%, right? Just Be Home says, hey, hello. Scrunchies, I underprice certain items compared to other businesses. Yes, exactly. And this is a real detriment to your business. Because if you feel like you can't charge what you want to, or even in some cases need to charge, then you're not going to, then things are going to start to go south for you. So imposter syndrome is a real big problem. I'm gonna be going through those 4 ways to beat it in just a sec. Alice Fox says, I don't have the right to do/give. Yes, that is a real big problem. Who am I? Who am I to make money from my craft? Who on earth am I to charge XYZ? Who am I to think that I'm any good to sell what I make? Honestly, it's a real big problem. I have to remind myself daily that if I don't go for it, someone else will. Yes, exactly that. If you don't do it, somebody else will, right? Boutique Prince says, imposter syndrome isn't what I thought. Oh dear. So Bin Creating says, the imposter syndrome for me often feels like you don't deserve that you just got lucky. So feeling like you didn't earn your success, that you did it just by chance, right? And snapping out of it is often done by chatting with others to realize it's all just a voice in your head. Yes. And I'd recommend, another little extra point is name that voice. If you have this inner little squeaky voice in your head that's saying, who are you? Like, you're so stupid. Why are you charging that? Who on earth is going to buy that from you? You think this is good? Pfft, you should see what your other competitors are doing. You know what I mean? That little voice. Name that voice, because it'll make it super easy to just be like, it's my inner Karen, or it's my inner Jeff, or it's my inner Bob acting up again, right? Honey Bay Illustrate says, I totally think no one will buy it if I up my prices to what I should charge. Yes, that is another imposter syndrome voice hanging around in your mind. Victoria says, absolutely, the Flourish event, the Academy have helped me with, I can't charge that for my products aren't good enough. Yes, so you're saying, Victoria is saying that the Flourish event that we held last month, and the Handmade Bosses Success Academy is what has helped Victoria to be able to overcome the I can't charge that. So I'm really glad that the Academy has helped you. And so if you are around, could you put the link for the Academy in the Facebook group and on Instagram as well? That would be really, really handy. Thank you. Just so people can join if they really want to take this further and overcome imposter syndrome for good. Tamsin says, I struggle with social media. I hate that cringe feeling after hitting post. Why would these people want to hear from me? Yes, is social media. Who am I to be the authoritative voice in my space? Like, who's going to want to read what I put online? Yes, absolutely. Snapping out of it has only ever come from things like a good review, but I'd love to know how to snap myself out of it. Yes, well, good, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Victoria, put my prices up by 10% and started getting more sales. Yes, exactly. It's seriously, we teach so many pricing techniques in the course, but putting your prices up will actually result in more sales. And in the course, we're going to dive deep into the psychology behind why that happens. Nikki says, I can't call what I do a business because I feel like others will think what? Really? Yes. Do you know what? I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here for a second. I know that Sophie sat there going, no. But how many of you call your business a small business? Right? How many of you call your business a small business? Guys, if you're calling your business a side hustle, and I'm doing air quotes if you're listening on the podcast, or a small business, or you are just basically kind of putting a derogative word before you explain what you do. And that could not even be a word. It could be, oh, I just sell this, or I just have this little business doing this. Change that language, guys. Change it, because all you're doing is you're making your business small, and you're keeping your business small, right? How sad is that? You're keeping you and your business small by saying, I have a small business. Why do we call it a small business? No, we just have a creative business. If you're searching for a word to kind of like buff out before you kind of say, when people ask you, which they inevitably do, because a lot of people attach a lot of self-worth to what they do, right? So if you have your Uncle Bob come up to you and say, hey, so what is it that you do again? Just say, I create beautiful blank so that I can help people blank, or so that I can help blank, right? Such an easy way to word it, right? Boutique Prince, the Peachy Bee says, that's me, yes. Boutique Prince says, I personally do charge more or less what I want to charge for my items because I feel that if people really like my products, they will buy it. Yes, exactly. My designs are my own, so feel that they can't get it elsewhere. Exactly, unless it's copied, of course. Yes, that's what you said in your other comment. Bean Creating says, I run my own business. Good. Freelance creative. Yes. Stop calling ourselves small, because honestly, just the language that you use to describe yourself almost kind of sets this boundary for what other people can call you. So if you call yourself a small business, well, guess what? Everybody else around you is going to call you small too. So no, own it. Own it. You're a freelance creative. You are a professional, creative human being that just so happens right now to be making this. If you're a multi-passionate creative handmade entrepreneur, which if you are my people and I freaking love you, then why limit ourselves, right? So I just really wanted to just say that, because sometimes when we describe what it is that we do, honestly, it's so bad. Nikki says, I have a little Etsy shop. Yes, no, you don't have a little Etsy shop. You are an empowered person owning your financial freedom by being creative for a freaking living. I mean, how many people can honestly say that they have ever done that? Right? Night to Dawn Tarot says, raising my prices bought me more sales. Consumer psychology for sure. Yes, I study consumer psychology a lot. And you can't see my bookshelf because quite frankly, it is horrendously untidy. It's over there, but I've got so many books on it. I'm obsessed with it. I really love it. I love the fact that, there are these patterns that we tend to follow because we are tribe people, right? And I'm going to be actually going into this later on, okay? So, 4 ways to overcome imposter syndrome. I'm going to get myself really super comfy because we're going to be going into it, okay? Joe quickly says, one of my aunts calls my business your little project. Oh no, I feel like that aunt might need to be shown how big in fact your little business is. Thank you, Sophie, for putting the link in there. Bin Creighton says, I'm sure swearing is not allowed on Insta chat, so I'll just say I ducking love this positive energy. Amazing. Gotta love those ducks. Okay, so shall we get into it? And I love the fact that you are enjoying this positive energy, because this is honestly me. If you ever meet me in real life, this is how I am. I'm super like, so yeah. I'd love to do like a local meetup at some point. I just would love to teach you guys live. It would be amazing. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I would say is to separate how you feel, which emotions are very fluid. Like they're up one day, down the next, because we're human beings, right? And let's be honest, you're never going to be like completely level, are you? Like all the time. You're going to be like this happy person all the freaking time. It's not going to work, right? Emotions are very up and down. It's like a really bad sea conditions. That made no sense, but you get what I mean, right? Is that emotions are up and down. They're very fluid, okay? Separate that from the fact. So emotions are like how you feel, fluid. They can change from one day to the next. To be honest, guys, you can't build a business on that, because that's not foundations. That's a freaking fluid. You're going to float off into the distance if you build a business based on that. And in the academy, we do really, really go deep into this and why so many handmade businesses fail, because they build their business foundations on this fluidity, right? But you need to separate that from fact, okay? You need to take how you feel, honor it, but also you need to kind of like put that aside, because that's not fact. And so many people, so for example, give me some love, give me some hearts if you've ever thought no one will buy what I have to make. Like, be really brutally honest. How many of you have thought that in the past, okay? And then how many of you over the course of a few days have turned that feeling into fact, and you've kind of gone, well, no, it's a fact. No one's going to buy what I have to make. Is it though? Is it a fact, or is it just how you feel? All right. So it's all about making sure that there's room for both. There's room for facts, there's room for feelings, but they're two completely different things, and do not get those two crossed over. Do not get them mixed up. Yes, sometimes we have a freaking bad day, okay? And there are times where we're just like, oh, I feel really rubbish today. But stop it there and just say, you know what? I honor that I feel this way, and I'm going to do whatever I need to freaking do to give myself a blimmin' break, right? So that could be, going for a walk, it could be taking a long bath, it could be going for a massage, going for a coffee with a friend, taking yourself out to lunch, right? It could be any one of those things, okay? But just kind of putting that in a box of its own and separating that from fact, okay? Just do not adopt your feelings as fact is really the underlying thing here. Let me just catch up on comments really, really, really fast. Rihanna Design says, I'm feeling that now. Yes, 100%. Crafted by Steph says, totally need this. Fantastic. I'm here for you. Backyard tunnel puts a laughing face. Yes, 100%. Tamsin says, my vote for a local meetup. Yes, I mean, I would love to. It's just... it's just one of those things that's always been on my dream board. If you guys can't see, I have a dream board behind me if you're listening on the podcast, which I highly recommend that you make one. But we're not going into that today because that could be like a whole other hour. Jay says, going to have to catch up later. Just had a phone call from the school saying my son has had an accident playing rugby. Oh no, I hope that your son's okay. But no worries. Yeah, feel free to catch up later on. So that is tip number 1, is to separate feelings from fact, all right? Tip number 2 is you have to understand that a lot of you are going to experience imposter syndrome for one simple reason, is that if you are going against the grain in comparison to the majority of the people that you are closest with, i.e. if you're choosing to go self-employed rather than to be in a job like everybody else, you're going to have imposter syndrome, right? Because you have this sense of not fitting in, not following the tribe, right? And it's gonna be because you're not going on the same path as the people around you. As I said, we are tribe human beings. We're tribe mammals, kind of, but that's who we are. So if we start to go against the grain, if you start to, go outside of the status quo with the people who are around you the most, you are naturally going to feel like an imposter, right? So guys, I think probably 97% of you are probably going against the grain. Give me some love. Are you going against what other people in your life do, have, see, feel? Let me know, because if you do, chances are you're going to feel imposter syndrome, because you're almost like you don't have the people around you saying, oh, you know what, it's fine for you to have a business because I have one too, okay? If you don't have that person or people around you, you're going to feel like you're kind of getting outside of your comfort zone, which is going to make you feel like an imposter. Totally normal. Night to Dawn Tarot says, I started giving myself a reward at the end of every month for all the hard work I put in. I love that. That's a really great idea. Sienna Moon Prince says, such a great piece of advice about the fact and feelings. Definitely something I need to work on at the moment. Loving this podcast. So informative. Thank you. You're most welcome. But yeah, no, seriously, guys, is that you are going to experience this if you're feeling outside of your comfort zone. Do you remember when you guys were at school, college, uni, whatever, and you were really late to class, right? And I know that a lot of you guys would have experienced this, and you're really, really late to class, okay? So late, in fact, that the teacher's there with the freaking whiteboard, she's like knee deep in her lesson, and you just kind of like open the door and it's like deathly quiet and everyone's looking at you, and you suddenly get this like, oh geez, and you start to sweat and you start to be like, did I put deodorant on this morning? Do I smell? Is that why everyone's looking at me? Like what? Oh my goodness, like everyone hates me. I'm so sorry. And you have this like split second thought where you're like, should I just turn back and run the other way? But instead you kind of go, look at the ground and go to your seat, right? That is effectively like the beginning stages of imposter syndrome, because you're going against the grain, okay? You're doing something outside of the norm when it comes to the people around you. It's the same feeling. You get that kind of bubbling, anxious kind of, I'm not really sure I should be doing this feeling, right? Nikki says, I'm so against the grain, I have splinters. I love that. I'm so against the grain, I have splinters. You know what? That's a good thing, okay? That is a real good thing. I'm going to be going into that in a second as well. So just recognize that you will have it at some point because you have this sense of not fitting in, okay? So point 3 is to identify what you're telling yourself and what you think you know. So if you're saying no one's going to buy what I have to sell, is that something you're telling yourself and you are taking as a fact, right? So if you're saying something like, and I know that I had this block, right? And it was, I'm too young to have a £100,000 business, okay? That was a limiting belief that kind of came from this place of having imposter syndrome, right? So I was always like, I'm too young to have a £100,000 business. I'm too young, okay? And asking myself why I thought that way was a big thing, right? So what was it that I was really saying with that statement? And this is where you start to really dig deep. So kind of super analyze that little sentence that you're telling yourself, because every single person here has said, in quotation marks, no one will buy what I have to sell. No one will pay what I want to charge. No one will look at my website. I'm too old, too young, too fat, too thin, too this, too something to achieve insert dream here, right? So the fact of it is that when you have that that quote, really, and I'm doing air quotes again because it's totally not true, then you have to be like, right, what am I really saying here? Okay, what am I really saying? 9 times out of 10, it's that you personally, and this is what I did with my limiting belief about the 100K business, is that I've never seen someone of my age have that level of business, okay? But that's not a fact. That's just something that I haven't seen for myself. So what did I do? I actively went out and researched people that were my age or younger that had achieved that thing that I was saying was so freaking impossible. So I bought books. I followed people on Instagram. I opened my blinders up just a little bit to be able to see that this is a possibility. And that fact that I was telling myself no longer became a fact, right? Does that make sense? Scrunchy says, I limit myself by thinking that I don't think I could physically make enough products to make a full-time income each month. See, that is a limiting belief because you can hire help. There's so many avenues, and we go through this in the course as well. There's so many ways, shape, or means that we can do that, right? It's a limiting belief, 110%. Megan, hi Meg, hello. Why hello Meg. So really kind of digging deep into what you're actually saying with the statement, and again I'm using air quotes, that you are saying, okay? Because again, 9 times out of 10, it's just not true, right? And the last thing is to flip the script. So you've kind of identified that you have these things going on and you have these facts, air quotes, that you're telling yourself in your mind, right? And you have kind of identified that the real reason could be because no one in your family's ever done it, that you haven't seen proof that people will pay £50 for a candle or £35 for a face wash or something. It's not fact, right? It's just that you haven't seen it, you haven't experienced it. Then you kind of open yourself up and you realize, okay, yeah, no, there are actually people doing that. So that's not a fact. That's just my brain playing tricks on me, my inner Bob, Jeff, Karen twittering on in my ear, right? So the last thing is to flip the script. Create affirmations for yourself. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to click off and say, ew, no, affirmations, I'm not doing that. Okay, don't call them affirmations. Call them sentences to change your mind, okay? So rather than saying, I'm too young to have a 100K business, say, I may be young, but I'm smarter than many people who are older than me, and I can absolutely do it, right? Instead of saying, no one will buy what I have to make, say, my target market are out there and they will buy what I have to make. I just have to connect the dots. That's the fact of it, isn't it? So basically, rather than you're trying to flip the script versus what you're telling yourself as fact versus what the actual fact of that statement is, and you're kind of creating a affirmation against that, right? And that is the quickest way to change your mind. Miss Harlow says, I'm struggling to start up and doing a full-time job. I'm struggling to start up and doing a full-time job. Okay, so a limiting belief there, maybe there's not enough hours in the day. That's a limiting belief. That is something that is going to lead you to imposter syndrome if you're not careful. There are enough hours in the day when you prioritize your hiney off, okay? If there's something that A, you can get help with, B, you can outsource, or C, that you can just get off your plate, you will find hours in the day. And definitely in the course, there is a big section on how I ran my 100K business, or how I run my 100K business with just 4 hours a week, right? So it is completely possible. Baby Mola says yes. Yes, love it. Tamsin says, I found the competitor section of the course really helped me with this. People are doing it and making good money / brands, etc. Yeah, so it could be something as simple as maybe just having a little peruse around certain brands, either on or off of Etsy, right? And really just maybe even taking a screenshot of their shop and how many sales they have and putting that on your dream board, or even like writing that number on a sticky note and just putting it somewhere where you see it every day. So the very next time you're like, it's not possible for me, I can't do it, I'm rubbish, then you can look at that and say, yeah, no, it is possible. I just need to find a way, right? And the way may be to look at all of the videos that we have for you on the YouTube channel. It could be listening to the podcast. And if you want to take it that extra step and really get in there and really get the A to Z path to a 100K business, handmade business, I might add, then take the course. That's what it's there for. It's there to enable you guys to be able to get to that lesson. And honestly, in the alumni group, there are so many students that have hit that level. Just being in that group, talking to them, interacting with them, realizing that they're just freaking human beings like everybody else. They're not superhuman. That, I mean, to me they are, because they're amazing, but they're just normal people. Just being around them is really going to enable you to see that it is possible for you. So guys, honestly, I have loved hanging out with you today. I always love doing these lives. So this is going to happen every single Monday at 1 p.m. GMT time, so the same time as this. You can watch on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. You can watch on the Facebook group, and if you haven't already joined the Facebook group, then you should. The replay will also be on the podcast if you want to have a little listen to that, and it will also be on YouTube, so you can catch up if you've missed anything. Honestly, anywhere you want to consume this amazing content, which I may say so myself, is thanks to you guys and participating in the polls in the group, just so I get a better sense of where you are right now, so I can help you. So if you see a poll, do a little vote for me, because that really helps me out a great deal. Bean Creating says, I'm just going to catch up on a couple more comments before I go. Saw an Insta ad on Insta Saturday night. Watched a webinar, signed up there and then. Oh, amazing. So hello, welcome to the Handmade Bosses family. I'm so glad that you're there. Say hi in the alumni group as well. Isla Rose says, thank you. Idle Gal says, this has been so helpful. Thank you. Baby Mola says, thank you for joining. Miss Harlow says, you're the best. Oh, thank you so much. No, you're the best. Peachy B says, thank you. Stephanie says, thank you, Steph. That helps so much. Amazing. LLEDR, thank you. That's amazing. Sienna Moon Prince says, thank you. Such a helpful podcast. Amazing. Well, guys, I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And don't forget, there is a new video coming out on YouTube and the podcast tomorrow as well. So you've got a double dose of Steph and healthfulness. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone.